ma'am, and thank you all the respected members of YAM. I don't have exactly what to say, how to say thank, because all are senior and legends, and becomes very difficult to say words before legends. And I will try my level best to make it very simple, because yes, safety comes first. Then equally, energy efficiency is equally important, but we have to give importance to safety. And I am thankful to Sood Sir for giving me that opportunity to start my presentation on safety of homes. And I'm going to share the screen right now. I welcome everyone. This session is about electrical safety for residential building, and I am Rajesh Rai, learner. Okay, and when I say safety, when the safety is on, all accidents are gone, and safety rules are the best tools to save the life. This is a mantra, and what I feel, the safety is a choice. It's a mindset. We have to change our mindset towards electrical safety, and we have to follow the rules. And it is very mandatory to follow the rules, because whenever we see some accident, it gives us pain. It gives pain to the inner core of our heart, and we feel very depressed, and we feel helpless also, because it is our moral responsibility to do something as electrical engineers of electrical safeties are concerned. I am here because I want to see my India free of electrical accident. And I believe safety is a matter of choice, and we can definitely make it. Safety is not a subject of training, it is a culture, and we have to develop that culture. And I want to spread the message of safety by my pledge, RPDGUI. And RPDGUI is nothing, it is a Rajesh Arora pledge for development of grounding understanding in India. And we have to work together to make India free of electrical accident because of poor or ineffective or inadequate grounding or earthing system. We have to take pledge, and each pledge matters. I tell you that thing. That is very important. If you look at all this data, electrocution kills nearly 30 Indians a day. We talk about the pandemic, we talk about disease, we talk about the accident, road accident. At the same time, we have to give full attention. 30 Indians are being killed every day because of electrocution. And if you look at the data, 42% fire accidents are caused because of short circuit in electrical circuits. 13 deaths every day in India because of electrocution and fire triggered by electrical short circuit, and 8% of death in the factory are because of electrical accidents. Next. And I will try my level best to make it very simple. And to make it simple, we have to understand in a very simple way. Now, I would like to start with the very simple question to make the session interactive. What is the most important thing in your life? One thing you can't live without. Please answer. And the answer is very simple. This one. We can't live without this mobile phone. When we talk about the mobile phone or laptop, the charger comes in the pictures. And I request everyone, when you are spending money, lakh of rupees on your mobile or your laptop, give due attention while purchasing the charger, and you have to look at two things. One is the square in the spare that ensure the double insulation security, and at the same time you have to look at the IS 13252 or IC 60950 part 1 that ensure the safety. Next. Now, apart from that, I have told you I want to make everything safety subjects is very in a simple way. There are only 3 parameters we have to look upon. The very first parameter is the voltage. Second is the current. Third is the frequency. When I say voltage, in case of voltage, I have to take care of the insulation level. I have to take care of the insulation capacity of the insulation I am using in my gadgets, in my system. When I say current, I have to take care of the overloading. I have to take care of the sparking. I have to take care of the heating effect of my current. Third is very important part, frequency, and that is the harmonics being generated by different gadgets being used at home. When you are using these gadgets are developing, creating harmonics. And harmonics basically are waveforms of multiple of your fundamental frequency, 100 hertz, 150 hertz, 200 hertz, 250 hertz, 300 hertz, even harmonics and all harmonics. And because of these harmonics, we are facing problem. The all harmonics creates heavy currents in the neutrals, and we have to be very much careful while choosing the size of neutral. When we talk about the harmonics generation, we have to use harmonic filters if required to neutralize, to offset the effect of that harmonics in our systems. All these things are very important, because when you are not providing the proper earthing, or you are not taking of the grounding systems, and earth becomes unearth, and when system is unearth, that is a disaster. It is bound to happen. No one can stop that disaster. We have to be very much careful. And when I say grounding and bonding, we have to understand grounding and bondings are very important part. And when I say bonding, main bonding and supplementary bonding both plays vital roles so for the safety of buildings, residential buildings, hospitals, hotels, industrial buildings are concerned. This is a picture that is giving the idea of bondings and earthing. Next. Next, sir. What happens when we talk about short circuit? Actually, whenever the short circuit terms are used, the meaning is very simple. Your phase wire is touching to earth or neutral. That becomes short circuit. When it is touching the neutral, that's not a big issue. In that case, this relays can operate. These MCBs will come in the picture. But when it is touching the earth, the only device that can save you is your RCB, residual current circuit breaker. RCCB or LCB is the oldest name. This device can be used, and you have to be very much careful. For residential purpose, that should be 30 milliampere. At the same time, when you're talking about the protection systems to against the short circuit and the fault current, be careful while choosing the MCB. That should be B type, not C type or D type. When you are choosing the B type MCB, it means it will operate 3 to 5 times of the short circuit level. When you are using your C type, it will operate 5 to 10 times. When it is D, it is 10 to 20 times. And I'm quite sure D type and C types, in case of requirement, fails to operate and becomes a cause of fire. Next, sir. This is an analogy of fault current path. What happens whenever there is a short circuit on some fault happens in the systems of residential building, it has to go back to the source. And the source in case of residential building is your main panel. Every short circuit current will have to go back to the panel. When it is going back to the panel, it will definitely flow through the overcurrent protective device. That is your MCB, and that will protect against short circuit. And when we talk about the fault and the shock, your RCB come in the picture. Residual current circuit breaker will help you to protect your life. This is an analogy of ambulance. When you give space to ambulance to reach to the hospital in minimum time, at the same time, the fault current has to go back to the source in a minimum time. Otherwise, there will be disaster. There will be people will be getting shocks, and there will be ignition of fire. If there is some delay in the disconnection of system, automatic disconnection of supply is mandatory in case of such scenario. This is depicted by another picture concept of electrical shock. Next, sir. When we talk about hazard in the building, there are only 5 main reasons: overcurrent, overload, harmonics, earth fault, electric arc, overvoltage because of lightning. Next, sir. And to ignite any fire, you need 3 things. You need oxygen, you need heat, you need fuel. And heat is given by the heating effect of current. This is a short circuit concept I already explained. I want to devote more time to the question and answer. This is the failure of insulation. When you are not taking care of the insulation, the such deterioration of insulation will create problem, overloading in the outlet. You should not overload your socket. I have already shown the proper selections of MCB plays very vital role. In the absence of proper selection, it won't operate. It will be total basis of investment, and that will be the eyewash. It won't operate. These are the BCD types of curve. You have to be very much careful while selection of MCB. Always select B curve type MCB for your houses. Mind it, B type you have to choose. Next. Avoid sparking because of poor insulation and the loose contact. You have to avoid it. Otherwise, there may be arc flash. Arcing ground concept comes when the earthing systems of distribution transformer of utility becomes loose, or it is removed. In that case, what happens, the phases which are sound, which are healthy, the voltage of that sound phases becomes double or the equal to the face-to-face voltage, and your gadgets start failing. And that is not in your heart, in hand. Only the over voltage protection can protect all these things. Next. Harmonics, I have already explained. Even harmonics, odd harmonics, total harmonic distortion. You have to be very much careful while choosing the gadgets you are purchasing. Lightning protection, yes, sometimes you face some problems because of the lightning. To take care of that thing, you have to use such protection device to avoid lightning problems in the building. When your structures are unprotected, it may create overvoltage and your gadgets may fail. You have to use SPD with proper designing as per IC 62305 Part 2 risk assessment to be done. And this is very important slide. What happens in previous time, 10 years ago, every consumer was consumer. They were just consuming the electricity, but now they have become consumer. They are consuming as well as they are producing the electricity in the forms of solar. When they become consumers, it plays with the your power factors of your residential building, and when your power factor becomes low, it generates more current to take care of the power requirement of that load, and when more current starts flowing, it becomes a problem. Next. And you should not forget this some IS 732 talk about some tests to be performed before energization of any installation, and you have to take care of that rules. Rules are there to avoid all the accidents. Next. Last but not the least, safety come first. Already expressed by Sulsap. And I can tell you one thing, this is not the end, it is just a beginning. And when we start working together in the directions of safety, definitely the change will be there. Next. And this is a journey we have started. We have to make India free of accident. This is my dream. You have to take pledge to make our India free of accident because of poor earthing and poor observations of safety rules. With that, thank you very much, everyone. And I am ready to take question after the presentations are over.